I don't know how to start this. Hi, I'm Aries. Hi. I've had a lot of people ask me how I draw my silly freaks. Mostly bell bottom, but like a lot of my silly cats. And so I thought that I would make a little video talking about my process with it. Spoiler alert, it's mostly me talking about you just really gotta stop with your perfectionism and not care. You're gonna hear that a lot in the video. But yeah, this video doesn't need that long of an intro, so we're gonna get right into it. Thank you so much for watching. I've never done this. Yeah, okay. I think that this should be fine. I'm just gonna go get right into it. I decided to use paint as well, just because, you know, not everyone has a $300 art program, or, you know, like, you don't need anything fancy. What I'm gonna show you, you can do on paper, you can do on a $300 art program, you can do this with a Sharpie where you just want to tag somewhere. But yeah. Where do I start now? I'm overthinking it already, which is kind of the point that I was going to say is with drawing silly little animals in general, or silly anything, you can't be perfect. Like, you cannot let yourself be a perfectionist, because the whole silliness and confidence and everything that makes your doodles awesome is just the fact that, like, you should really not give a shit. Ideally, if you give a shit, it still is awesome, but you're losing out on the fun whimsy of it. But I'll always start with a little circle, of course, because you want a head. With the cats that I draw, they are very simple shaped. Mostly just because I don't have to think about it that much, but also, you know, if things are simple, you know, it doesn't need much, but I'll always do little mouth, little yay. I always do my mouths just as like literally it's a sideways 3, you know. Whenever the mouth is open, you don't have to do, again, you don't have to do, you can just do literally just a long U, I guess, a long curve. But the other thing with this, when I say don't be a perfectionist, this also applies to if I'm drawing the mouth a certain way and you draw it and you're like, oh no, the mouth, oh shoot, I did my mouth kind of like this, oh it's not as round, or, you know, like maybe I'll do it really curled, oh shoot, oh darn. That's what makes it unique. And that's where also, if you catch yourself thinking like that, you just gotta not care. You just gotta trudge through, you know. That's part of the silly factor. The eyes as well, there are so many different eyes. I'm gonna be doing bell bottom for these, which bell bottom's eyes are kind of a simple cartoony, that's it. Doesn't even have the whites filled in, but you can also do that style. You can do I like to do just big wide, you know, something like that too. That's a classic cat eye shape. You can do like straight up and down, you know. Wow, little sparkle. This is like Pokemon will use this. A bunch of simple little eyes. I'll do a couple drawings of different styles, quote unquote, at the end there. And then for the ears as well, I just do them chubby, very round. I'll do like a big round cheek, I guess. Round cheek there. But again, with the ears, Animal Crossing, I was just doing something with Animal Crossing. They do pointy and very high up. You can also do that. You want to do a little Scottish fold? There we go, Scottish fold. Keeping it as simple as possible is gonna help too, because you kind of want, when you're doing these silly cats, if you do something a little too detailed, you might like focus on that detail. If you're like, oh, this ear, it should have like a little bit of fluff, you know, but then, oh, the inside, and like, you know, You can get caught up in that. And then I also kind of think too, if you get caught up in doing those details, it's gonna go back to the part where you're giving too much of a shit. So anyway, we have our little head. It's a sketch right now. I'll do a little erasing for right now. Just erase where the ears, oops. Sorry, Bill Bottom. I just took out your eye. There we go. Erase where the ear connects to the head. And for Bell Bottom, and honestly any cat, I do whiskers. Bell Bottom, his whole design, the whiskers are kind of not actually whiskers, they're just lines on his face, but I don't know, you can do them off the cheek too. You could literally, again, do whatever. Play around with it. For the love of God, just have fun, okay? I feel like most of this video, it's gonna be me yapping about playing around with all this and just continuously beating down, shoving this idea down your throat that perfectionism is what's going to make you hate art, and it's going to make you hate creating, and it's going to make you just hate everything that you create in general. And silly cats are that's a breath of fresh air. This is supposed to be warm-ups. This is supposed to be something that you don't have to think about and you're just making something silly. But anyway, now we have the head. I'm gonna do standing just so you can see how I do the legs. But some people, like, you could do a little loaf where it's just, you don't even need the leg. There we go. You know, he has a little body. But like I said, I'm gonna do the legs for this little doodle. I also think it's quite funny for Bell Bottom because he's very pudgy. It stems back to when I was in elementary school and I was really into drawing My Little Pony. And so whenever I draw ponies, I do circle for the head, circle for the chest, circle for the butt, and then you connect them all. And that's kind of what we're going to be doing here. This is how I used to draw ponies. That was how I used to draw ponies. It was awesome. I had a blast, but we're kind of going to be doing that. Doesn't have to be, I guess, perfect circles. I honestly, again, like I said, like I keep saying, like, perfectionism is gonna get you nowhere. If you do this pudgy little body, honestly, some wonky circles are probably gonna be, it's gonna be better. But Bell Bottom also doesn't have a neck. If you want your cat to have a neck, you can do that. If not, no worries. But I have a circle here for the chest. And I think I want to do a little bit of perspective, so I'm going to do the circle here for the butt. And technically that circle is gonna behind the chest one, so it'd kind of look like that if I finished it, but we'll just leave it there. My little cat Minnow is running up and down on my desk right now. Sorry if you hear him. But we have now the body. So really, like I said, you could do whatever you want. You could take away both of these if you wanted to make your little guy standing. If you wanted to make it a little bit anthro, you could do something like that. Just play around with it. Different, wherever the little circles sit. But I'll keep it like that. For the legs, that's where it gets a little bit more tricky. And I say tricky in the way that whenever I'm doing these silly doodles, they give me the most trouble because if I don't think about them too much, sometimes I'll slip up and they don't look balanced. And that's where my perfectionism kicks in. And I need to get better at that. So we're just not gonna care. Going into it with a plan is it's good. But again, don't get too tied up with it. Because honestly, the worse anatomy, the wigglier of lines, it's just what makes it more silly. I'm gonna start with this one here, and I'll just do one line. I like to do them curved, not too straight, but straight lines also, if you want to do that, I'm really honest to God sure it will not look horrible at all. But I have a little curve here, and I do a little lump for the paw, and I'll just pull it back a bit. again, simplicity is key. I'll do it again for this paw here, a little bit of a curve and a lump there, and pull it back. And so you have the start of your 2 front legs. With simple drawings, this is something that helps in art in general too. If you play around, like some people will do, let's do a paw right here. And again, what I'm gonna say, if you don't want to do it like that, that's okay. But if you do a paw like that, where it's even, and you know, it's roughly the same width going up for the leg, it doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad. I play around, so I'll do a paw here, but I like to make it thicker when it connects to the body. Kind of ties into, you know, when you were in school and you were making like those popsicle stick towers or bridges, and your teacher they'll always say, a strong base is good. Like that's, you know, I think that ties in with a lot of anatomy too. I'm gonna talk about Pokemon again. Pokemon, you can see it as well, that some like tails, they'll be bigger and thicker at the base and go tinier. It's kind of just how the muscles sit, but honestly, I'm kind of just overcomplicating it. Like I said, you can go either way. I usually just like to make it a little bit thicker and bigger when it connects to the body. And so we will do that. It's a little bit of perspective too, so this might look a little bit more silly. But there we go. We have our legs. And I'll start erasing stuff now so you can see. Another thing too is that if you get to a point in the drawing and you're like, oh, I don't like my original plan. Like, let's say, like right now, I think that the butt's a little too high. I was going for perspective, but I think I'm gonna not really do that. Just work with it. Don't try and, if you're not feeling it, don't try and fight against that. But make sure it's not stemming from the point of you're trying to be way too perfectionist, and make it just stem with, hey, I kind of want to just try it out here, you know? I kind of want to move it here. But so I have my front circle. We're going to try and think about it 3D, and we have our back butt circle. And now I'm doing the back legs. And this is also something that I stole from the My Little Pony tutorials. You do a circle here, circle here. I think that maybe there was a circle there. I don't really do the circles. I just do for the little legs. Yeah, I'll do a circle here. You know, it's kind of connected like that. But you have your little, I don't even really know what it's called. I think it's technically the knee, because I think with cats, they have a little knee right there. But you have a big circle there, and you can connect it to this back one. Same thing with the front. You make a paw. This one's lifted. Just simple little shapes. And so we can erase that and put it right here. So same thing. Circle there, connect it. You can already see kinda, it's a lot of scribbles, but if you erase it, you know, we're getting somewhere. And same thing with the front. Just some lines down, connect it to a paw, and we have our back leg. There we go. And honestly, again, with the back leg, you're gonna want the second one, which this one's simple because we just have to do this back line because everything else is covering it. So, and I'll just color it in for shading. And now we have our body, which now that we have our body, I'll just quickly show. There's that one line in that circle. That's where the back legs are. Circle here for the chest and the butt, and your circle for the head. So if you broke that down, it really is just sticking a bunch of circles together. Which really, your cat can be made of blocks or triangles. You can change those circles, whatever, and it will still be a silly little guy. Bell Bottom has a big bell on his butt. So I'll just add that. And we have our little guy. He's so happy. Look at him. And so because we now know kind of how to build him up, where it's just 1 circle, 2 circle, 3 circle, we can do those circles and we can play around with it, you know? So I'll do this right here. We'll do his little cheek. Maybe I'll make him doing a little wink. And don't feel bad if you can't doodle as quick as how I'm going. I've been doing this for however long. It all takes practice. And like I said, the less that you worry about making it look good, the easier it will be to get to this point where you could just jot stuff out. Kind of like how people will do figure drawing, where they'll draw a person really, really quick. Doesn't have to be, what's the word? The anatomy doesn't have to be perfect with it, but yeah. We got our little body circles. We'll do a circle here for the back feet, because it's gonna be a back pose. Put his little paws out. And his big old bell tail. And then now we can just erase a lot of the little scribbles that we did. There we go. It really is just simple shapes. You can do little feetsies for him, little paw pads. And then even you can see proportions are wrong. This one technically does look arguably skinnier, but again, it's silly. He's just silly. I'll even do it. I won't even do bell bottom. Let's do a different cat. I'll do it so his head is even wider, and I'll do big, long triangle ears. I'll do the cat eye, like I mentioned before, and I'll even do the sharper little mouth here. I'll even do a straight back too, just showing you we can do the blocks here. If you just want it to look more rigid, I'll do the straight, same width legs. This guy's just standing. You don't need to do much. And that back leg there. It's all up to preference too. If you like the look of this blockier guy, go for it. I think I will call him Sandwich. And I'll even do his tail to be a cone. And there is Sandwich. I'll do even inner ears for him. And some whiskers coming off his face. And there we have Sandwich. And see, most people, well, but obviously everyone has their own opinion, but it's still a silly cat. So people will look at it and be like, well, I mean, his tail might be a little weird, but that's a cat. We can even make Sandwich eating a sandwich. Same thing. It's that long oval for the face. And I'll do the square here. Square for the butt. Connect that. And I'll even do, we can even play with the circle there, but we have the 2 circles for his little feet. Put his paws on the ground so he's sitting all polite. And I'll do the circles for his paws. And just connect them. That's where his little elbows are. And his big old cone tail. And we can erase that there. Make it easier to understand and not have all of our building blocks there. And I'll make him his sandwich. Which this kind of just looks like a big mushroom, but that's okay. I'll do a very long mouth too. Because he's very happy and he needs a big smile to show how happy he is with his sandwich. There we go. A little sketchy, but you know, gets the job done. Now he's happy with his sandwich. But you see what I mean, where you just play around with the shapes. You just can't care. You cannot care at all. Obviously, if I wanted this to be a proper image, you can barely see that yellow, but that's okay. I'll use orange. If you see that image, if I wanted to do that as a proper art piece, there is so much that I would like to change. But it's a silly cat. He's full of whimsy. He doesn't need to... I don't even know the word. He just doesn't care. He doesn't care. He doesn't need to be perfect. I'll even do one orange one. I'll make him fluffy too, actually. I'll do a triangle face. His ears are kind of flat. I guess this isn't really fluffy, but he kind of looks like a little mouse. I'll do that other eye style. Oh man. This is what I mean though. Okay, yeah, I'll give him a little neck. I'll give him a straight back. And I'll do a very curly tail here. Look at him. Oh. There we are. I'll even do big pronounced paws like that. This makes me feel, this feels like when I was a kid, my mom or my nana or someone would draw a cat like this. Oh, I really like this guy actually. Oh, you little silly, hey? I will name him Cheddar, like the cheese. But you see what I mean. Everyone has their own style. Their own way to do it. And no matter what you make, there's gonna be someone out there that genuinely enjoys it too. And of course, sit and think about why you want to make things. Why, what do you want to achieve with these silly drawings or just normal art in general, music, whatever you want to create. Just think about what you want to put out there and why. And even if it's the most dog shit piece of media or like art or anything, if you think that is dog shit, someone's gonna like it. And someone's gonna sit there and go, oh yeah, that's the good stuff. But yeah. I really, really do hope that you took something out of this. I don't really make videos like this. I'm trying something. I don't know. I want to help people feel comfortable in making stuff, because I feel like that's one of the coolest things about life. Even if, you make a silly cat eating a sandwich or dancing around or doing whatever you want to do. But yeah. I just wanted to say thank you so much if you made it to the end of this video. I haven't made videos since middle school. Animal Jam middle school. But I've been wanting to make tutorials like this for a while. Or I guess just more like sketch with me, where I just babble on. And I finally just decided that I don't want to sit here and muddle over my videos being perfect. So I just want to make stuff. My cat's going insane in the background if you can hear him meowing. I also just wanted to say, if you do any of these exercises, doodles, anything like that, I do have an Instagram. They will be linked in the description. Please tag me, please show me anything. I would be honored. Bawling my eyes out. Oh, my poor cat. And that also goes for the fantastic music that I use. That is also going to be linked in the description. And I think that's kind of it. If you want any more videos like this about specific things, any anatomy, or getting into more in-depth tutorials, or just anything at all, please tell me, please comment. I think it would be really fun. I just want to interact with people more. So yeah, thank you guys so much.